Okay, so on the formula chart on quadratic equations, you have your standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. And then we have our quadratic formula. So the discriminant that we're going to use is the part that's underneath the radical on the quadratic formula, the b squared minus 4ac. So we're going to use a portion of the quadratic formula. Okay, so what is the value of the discriminant is the first question. So to find the value of the discriminant, you have to find the discriminant. So we have b squared minus 4ac. So first off, what is your a? So if it's ax squared plus bx plus c, your a is -2, and b equals 12, and c equals -16. Okay, so to find the discriminant, we're going to do b squared. So if b is negative, then parentheses are necessary. So you have 12 squared. Is it necessary for a positive number? No, you can square a positive number and it's still going to be positive. If it is a negative, turn your computer around. Flip it. There you go. If it's negative, then it will change your answer. Minus 4 times a, which is -2, times what? Times c, which is -16. Okay, what do y'all get? I want you to be able to type this in your calculator. Do it. So you're typing in 12 squared minus 4 times -2 times -16. And what'd y'all get? 16. So your discriminant equals 16. So if your discriminant is greater than 0, then you're going to have two solutions. So when we graph it, it crosses the x-axis how many times? Twice. 2 times. So how many intercepts are there? There are 2 intercepts. And then it says provide the solution to the nearest hundred. So if it's not a perfect answer, you can round to the nearest hundred. So we are solving it. So when you solve it, you're going to find out what x equals. So the solutions are, let's see if we can find it on our table. So second graph, and my table is way messed up. I'm going to go to table set, start at 0, and I'm going to change it to 1 instead of 0.01. And so do we have our zeros? So the zeros is when what equals 0, x or y? Your x-intercepts are your zeros.
Y equals 0.
When y equals 0. So when y equals 0, x equals 2 and 4. So, and we can visually see that it crosses at, that shadow got darker, crosses at 2 and 4. So the solution will be 2 and 4. The zeros is x equals 2, comma, x equals 4. And then the x-intercepts provide an ordered pair. again, x equals 2 and y equals 0. And then 4, comma 0. So it's the same answer, just asked 3 different ways, and that's 3 different ways you write your answer. Okay, number 2, find the discriminant. So what's my A equal? 2, and B equals 16, and C equals 29. So B squared, so 16 squared, minus 4 times A times C. And do y'all want to learn how to store numbers in your calculator and put equations in there? Yes or no? I'll show you real quick. Move that up. So on your calculator in your main screen, if you look above on, there's a word as STO and a arrow. That is store. So this is how your X and Y values have values in your calculator. So you can take the first A equals 2, so you can do 2, store A. So alpha A is right above it. Press enter. And then 16, store alpha B. 29, store C, alpha C. And then you can put your equation in. So alpha B, so B squared minus 4 alpha A alpha C. And I can press enter. And we get 24. So, which is the same answer, of course, to 16 squared minus 4 times 2 times 29. It's also, of course, 24. So both are valid. Why would you want to use this? Well, one of the methods to solve is using the quadratic formula. So if you are doing multiple problems of the same type, then you might want to use store. Not that you have to. So before we graph it, so from the notes above, how many solutions should we have? 2, because we have a positive number. It's greater than 0. Do you have to memorize that? No, because you can graph it. So 2x squared plus 16x. This one's important to graph. And make it bigger so y'all can see it. Okay, so we have 2 solutions. Are they perfect? Are they going to be whole numbers? It looks like it crosses between -2 and -3. So if it's in between 2 numbers, is it going to be a whole number? No. So go to second, calculate. Well, we found the intersection. And we're looking for 0, so guess what we're going to go to? 0. Okay, so when you're looking for the 0, you have, let's see, you can see it here. So here's a horrible sketch of the graph. So you're looking for this point and this point, and it's asking left or right. So if you start with this one, we're going to do this one first. So anywhere above it will be left, and anywhere below, but not passing the other one, will be right. So now let's go to our calculator, and to the left, you can look and see where you're at. It tells you I'm at 0 and 29, so I'm very high. So I need to go to the left until I see my turtle. So I'm going to do my left point first and press enter, and then go anywhere below, press enter, and then enter one more time after guess. And we are at negative 5.22, and that's to the nearest hundred, so that's 2 decimal places. Are you done? No, we gotta find the other side. So again, second calculate, 0. And so you need to be anywhere to the left of it, so past the other x-intercept, and then go anywhere above it to go to the right side, and then press enter one more time. So negative 2.7 what? What's the 5 going to do to the 7? Stay the same or go up? Go up. So negative 2.78. Those are my 2 solutions. And then your zeros are the same numbers except written as x equals negative 5.22, comma, x equals negative 2.78. And then your intercepts, you have the x values, comma 0, and negative 2.78, comma 0 in parentheses. So why are we starting out with this first? Well, we're going to learn multiple ways how to find your solutions, but you can always fall back by using your calculator. Okay? We've got one more, but before we do that, what if you had x squared minus 9, what would your a be? And a would equal what? 1. How about b? 0. Very good. And c would equal negative 9. Okay? Okay, now to the next one. Last one on that. So, let's go ahead and graph this one first. Okay, so y equals x squared plus 6x plus 11 graph. Okay, does it cross the x-axis? No. So, how many x-intercepts are there? 0. And did we answer that on the first 2? I don't think I did on the one before. X-intercepts, there are 2 on number 2. Okay. So, 0 x-intercepts, but we still need to find the discriminant. So, a equals 1. B is 6 and C is 11. So again, B squared minus 4AC is your formula, which is the inside of the radical in the quadratic. So 6 squared, and there we go. 6 squared minus there you go, minus 4AC, and I should not have wrote that. So A is 1, and C is 11. So, again, times 1 times 11. So what's 4 times 11? 44. What's 6 squared? 6 times 6 is 36. So 36 minus 44 equals what? negative 8. So when your discriminant is negative, you have 0 solutions. So solve it. So if we solve it, we still don't have any solutions. So what is their answers? So for the solution, it is no real solution. For the zeros, there's no zeros. And for the intercepts, there's no such intercepts. And why is there no intercepts? Well, one, because it doesn't cross it. You don't have a solution. But is there anything that multiplies to give you 11 and adds together to give you 6? Going back to factoring. No, the only thing that multiplies to give you 11 is 1 times 11. And 1 plus 11 is 12. So that's another reason why there's no solution. Okay, the next 3 will go much faster. They're multiple choice. So notice that our answers are positive or negative, 11 halves, or 16, just looking at the zeros. So that's why your window has been changed. So we're going to go to y equals, type in your equation, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my window. And you can change the x if you wanted to just negative 5 and 5 and kind of focus on the, change your y. Change your x to negative 20 and 20 and your y to negative 5 and 5. That way we'll focus on the intercepts. There we go. Okay. So x negative 20 and 20 and y to negative 5 and 5. And graph. And I turned off. So, looking at yours, are they both positive or both negative? Both negative. Okay, so both your solutions are going to be negative solutions. So, our answer could be B or C. So we can eliminate A and D. Okay, so now we have 2 factors. So if you multiply to get 176 and add together to give 43, are they going to be positive numbers or negative numbers? Positive. So your answer is B. So why are the factors, or the zeros, opposite of the factors? And here's the reason why. Because if you set them equal to 0, so we have x plus 16 equal to 0 and solve. What's the opposite of adding 16? Subtracting. So x equals negative 16. And so the same for the other factor. So 2x plus 11 equal to 0. Opposite of adding 11 is subtracting. And so 2x equals negative 11, and then opposite of multiplying is dividing. So x equals negative 11 halves. So your factors, your solutions are going to be opposite of your factors as far as signs. Okay, so number 5. And again, all the ones that we're doing, so if you were having to factor, could you be able to graph it and see if your factors are correct? They're going to be opposite of where, so you could solve it for 0 and you could see that they're going to be opposite of where they are. So the opposite of 17, so this one should cross at negative 17 and negative 5. This one, both would be positive. And this one, does this factor go with that answer? What's the opposite of negative 5? Opposite of subtracting 5 is adding, so that answer can't be correct. And then both of them are negative, so both should be what? if you have x minus 5 equals 0, and you, opposite of subtracting is adding, shouldn't they both be positive? Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this one. Y equals x squared minus 22x plus 85, and graph. Okay, so my solutions are both what? Positive. So, therefore, my answer is B. So, what multiplies to give you 85 and adds together to give you negative 22? So, negative 17 and negative 5 will give you positive 85. Negative 17 plus negative 5 will give you that negative 22. Questions? So, that's another way you can check your factors also. So, last one, number 6. Let me give you a minute. I want you to graph it and find your answer. So, the B, C, and D, there's only one answer. So it's this one, x minus 4 squared, is going to cross at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it's going to go up. That's what that one looks like. That's C. There you go. So, what's y'all's answers? Does it cross only once? A, thank you. Crosses twice at negative 4 and positive 11. A. Super easy.